you, I need you to hit the subscribe button below.
How you doing, brother? What's your name? Huh? Leslie? My name is Yahaziel. So Leslie, because I understand you speak Creole, right? Now, from Haiti, right? Used to be called Hispaniola before. Who changed the name? Huh? The who? No problem? No, I'm saying, who changed the name of that island? Now I'm asking you, Leslie, who changed the name? Yeah, they changed it into Creole. Who taught you the Creole? Who changed the name? Who conquered and enslaved your people? You don't know? Go to Deuteronomy 28. What we're showing is, I want you to open up the flyer, and I want you to look at this part right here, right? And what does that say? Slavery, right? The truth about slavery. Leslie, the truth is that your ancestors on that island was enslaved. Right. And you were forced to learn the language of Creole. How you doing, my brother? Come up here real quick, because we all brothers. You come around. What's your name? Huh? You can say it louder, brother. Gracie? Gracie, this is Leslie. Say hello to each other. Y'all brothers. What we going over is our history, because where you from? From Haiti too as well, right? So now Leslie's also from Haiti, right? Now I was asking Leslie, the island, do you know that the island was called Hispaniola before that? You knew that, right? Who changed the name of that? Yes. Don't know? Well, let me give you a heads up. Who taught your ancestors to speak broken French? Because only the person that conquers the place can change the name. Just like America, right? You have the indigenous people living here before, right? But a conquistador, a white man, European, came and changed the name to America. Then he calls them Native Americans. They were already here. You understand? So read that real quick, Deuteronomy 28, and I want you to get to the language. Deuteronomy 28. Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall.
And in Haiti, you were transported on what? Slave ships, transported to the four corners of the earth, right? So now the Bible said, wherever you were shipped, you would be going to be called a byword, meaning out of your God-given name. I want you brothers look at this real quick. According to the Bible, is Haitian in the Bible? That word is Haitian in the Bible. It's not. The word Haitian is not in the Bible. The word Levi is in the Bible. The word Levi means joined to me. You ever heard of Moses? Moses was from the tribe of Levi. You ever heard about the Ten Commandments and the Exodus out of Egypt? You ever heard about that before? No, never heard about that before? You been to church before? No? Okay, well guess what? We're in church right now. We're going to teach you because your nationality is not Haitian. Y'all believe in God? Well, guess what? God never called you Haitian. God gave you a specific name. But what happened to us is this. Slavery. He's getting this black man ready to buy and sell him, right? He's inspecting the sale of a Negro. And he's getting to sell him to a white man and to other dark-skinned men that were Arabs. Because we come from Africa, but we come from Northeast Africa, which is called Israel. Just because you're dark-skinned don't make you all the same people. Because an Arab is dark-skinned, right? Does he call himself black? No. But he calls you black though, don't he? So I want you to read this again. So now what we're reading is a curse, a punishment that would happen to Levi if they broke God's commandments, okay? Read that again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 37.
Now I want you to listen up and follow with your flyer because we're going to read everything that's on the flyer. Look at your flyer real quick. Look at your flyer. Look at Deuteronomy 28:15. Look at that. Read that for them first. Deuteronomy 28:15. Follow along, okay?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So because we broke God's commandments is why we went into slavery. You understand? We got to start keeping God's commandments. All right, brother? Hey, listen. What you going to work today? Where you going today? You going home? So you got time to listen. Another bus going to come by. Where you live at? Downtown? Another bus going to come by. Before you go. 28:15. It says curses was going to come upon us, right? Curses, that's a punishment. Look at this. Is this a blessing or a curse? Is your ancestors being sold in slavery a blessing or a curse? It's a bad thing, isn't it? Would you like somebody to lock you up right now for no reason? So is that a good thing or bad thing? A bad thing. Now, when they locked you up, jump down to verse 49. When they enslaved the island of Haiti, right? The French conquered it. The French conquistadors, Napoleon and them, they spoke French. You understand? And they taught you French. The so-called Haitians learned Creole as a broken French because you had to communicate with each other when it was time to escape the plantation. But you didn't want the slave master to know what you were saying. So this is what he did. He took you in slavery and he forced a language on you. Read it real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
It said the Lord did it because if you have a father, you don't listen to him, he give you punishment, right? Well, God, your father, we didn't want to listen to him. He gave us punishment. He said a nation from far. God used the other nations to punish his children. You understand? Read.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
So now he said as swift as the eagle flieth, right? On the American money, what symbol do they have on the money? Open your flyer. Open your flyer. You can open your flyer because God has given us clues into who this enemy is, right? And look at the money. That's an eagle. You see that? Open your flyer. Go to the last page. Look at the money. An eagle, right? Now look at back then in Greek time when the white man conquered us back then. An eagle. During the time of Christ, an eagle's on the money. Even unto America, eagles on the money, right? So now because you broke God's commandments, God was going to do what?
As swift as the eagle flieth.
Read it again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth.
Because Europeans came from one side of the earth. You following? Read.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
They came so quick, you guys didn't know what was happening. You understand? And the eagle represents the symbol that they always use. Like America, when they conquered the Native Americans, they came with the eagle. You understand? Just like Haiti. You following, right? Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Listen up now. So it said when they came, you didn't understand them. Because guess what? When the French came and conquered you, you was not speaking French. You understand that? Right. You are not speaking French. Just like the people in this country, they were not speaking Portuguese. The people in the Caribbean, they were not speaking British and things of that nature. So when they came to the island of Hispaniola, right, that they call Haiti, they were speaking a language that you didn't know. Read.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, no, show favor to the young.
Now look at this sign real quick. I want y'all to check out the bottom of the sign. During slavery, the curse said that they wasn't going to care if you were old or young. On the plantations in slavery, was there young people on the plantations as well? Yes. You see the little boy right there? Look at that. He has the slave master has the rope tied around his head. And the older man also has the slave rope tied around his head. Even on the sugar plantations, they had old all the way to young, babies as well, right? So it said when he conquered Haiti, he didn't care if you was a toddler or if you was an adult like us. We all was on the plantation picking the sugar cane, picking the tobacco, picking all the produce. Because Haiti right now, did they not rape that island of its natural resources? Yes, they did. They took all your resources. Say it on the mic. What did they take? They took it. So God said they're going to have a fierce countenance, meaning they're not going to have sympathy to say, well, you're a young man. Let me not do that to him. They didn't care. Read. Hey, wait, say it again?
They didn't care about that.
They didn't care about that. God is showing you this is your enemy. What man did that? Was that not the white man? It was. It was a man that looked like that. And then when he came, he taught you that and taught you that's Christ. So now you pray to him thinking that's God. You understand? Read.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
And he did what? Right.
Ye shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
So now it says when the white man came and conquered you, the French, he ate the fruit of your cattle, meaning your livestock. Haiti, it was rich in rice and things like that, right? And about, I want to say 20 years ago, Bill Clinton, you ever heard of Bill Clinton? He was a president. He started to sell you guys rice for cheap. It destroyed your economy. Meanwhile, you was growing that stuff for free. You understand? And then he said, I was trying to help you. 20 years later, he said, my bad. I didn't realize I wasn't helping. But when he went in there and sold that rice to you, he destroyed your economics. Did he ever pay you back for that? No. Read that part again. A nation of what?
A nation of fierce countenance, we shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
Read.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
He did that to Haiti, right? He took your resources.
And the fruit of thy land.
All the fruit of your land. Look, Haiti got Haitian mangoes. I know you ate one before you started smiling, but I love them mangoes. Your people don't even send those into the country. America brings that into the country and then sells it back to you. That last time I thought that was a thief. That's a thief, is it not? If I go into your house right now and take something that belongs to you and sell it back to you, I'm a thief. Has America given it back to you and said, I'm sorry? No. But America is still destroying your country. Remember when they had, I think it was, they were supposed to go in there and build houses? They ended up building a soccer field, and that was it. That was it. Keep reading. Come on.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed.
Until you destroy, because on the island of Haiti, now we got hatred, because guess what? The so-called Dominicans that live on the same island, an imaginary line separates y'all fighting against them. To this very day, get that? To this very day, y'all fighting against them. But guess what? The Dominicans was conquered as well from the white man. The white man from Portuguese. He taught them Spanish. The white man from France came and conquered you. He taught y'all French, but y'all both went through the same thing.
Right.
But now y'all got hatred because guess what? Dominicans believe that lie. You understand that? That's why they fight against each other, because they like anything too dark. They don't like it. That's hatred. Read that real quick.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 4. We have drunken our water for money.
So real quick, what you doing today? Come down to the school. We got a school right down the street. There's a number in the back of the flyer. Come down. We want you to come and learn. You understand? Because we have brothers inside the congregation. They speak Creole very good, and that you can talk with them. And guess what? We're going to open the Bible and show you what you're supposed to be doing according to God. You love God? And you want to do what God says to do, right? All right. Loving God means keep his commandments. Today's a Sabbath day. Today, you're supposed to come together on the Sabbath day. That's a commandment.
Right.
So if you love God, Leslie, come to the school and keep the Sabbath day. All right? The address is on the back of the flyer. All right, Leslie? What's your name again? Yeah, absolutely. Because guess what? Back then we had schools, but they destroyed it. Now we have a school that we can sit down and educate you. It's at Pine Hills and North Lane. You know where the 7-Eleven is at? Yeah, we're across the street in that plaza. All right? I want you to, before you go, I just want you to listen up. So far, the curses, they're supposed to show you who you are. You understand? Because we grew up thinking we're Haitian, but the Bible don't have Haiti in it. So something is wrong here. And we know Haitian was given to us by the man that conquered us. Like your last name. It belongs to the slave master. You understand? So now what we find this, how to find this out is to go through the curses, because the curse is going to show you who you are. Make sense? Get verse 40, read that real quick, and then get verse 46. Come on.
We have drunken our water for money.
So now this is what he did to your island. After he took the resources, he imported it back to you, right? And sold it back to you. So it said you drunk your water for money, because water falls out the sky for free, right? Why do you have to pay for it? You come from a tropical island, bro. You got rivers up and down that thing. And I guarantee you, go out there and try to collect the water. I'm telling you, there's laws in the book, they're going to lock you up. So the curse says, you've drunken your water for money, meaning you got to pay for the natural resource that God gave you. Read.
Our wood is sold unto us.
Haiti, it got trees, right? You can cut down the trees, build a house. If you go to Haiti right now, can you just cut down trees if you want and build a house? What's going to happen to you? You're going to get locked up. But wait a second. Who gave you the trees? Didn't God make the trees? So the Bible's telling you that the natural resources God gave to you, now you got to turn around and pay another man that took you over. You understand? To this day, after Haiti was conquered by the French, you know the Haitian government is paying the white man because the white man missed out on free slave labor? Did you know that? But that's crazy. But he had you in slavery, and now that you're supposed to be free, you got to pay him back because he missed out on money enslaving you. Keep reading.
Our necks are under persecution.
It said our necks are under persecution. Right now in Haiti, is there not war and violence breaking out? There's a lot of war. Your neck is under persecution. And it's not just Haiti. You heard of George Floyd? George Floyd, the brother that the cop put his knee on his neck. Read that part again.
Our necks are under persecution.
George Floyd's neck was literally under persecution. The so-called Haitians, Levi's, under persecution to this day. They're being oppressed and destroyed in their own home. That's why a lot of them come to America, because they want what? A better life. But guess what? When they come to America, they run into the same person that destroyed their place. You understand? Read.
We labor and have no rest.
So guess what? You guys labor, because y'all some hard-working brothers and sisters. You know that, right? Black people some hard-working people, bro. You know that.
Hey, like this brother right here.
Yeah.
He working out.
And don't get nothing because we don't get paid for it. Because we're being robbed to this day. That's why when a black man says reparations, what they say? Forget about slavery. But they don't never let you forget about 9/11.
Right.
Come on, read.
We have given the hand to the Egyptians and the Assyrians.
Right, so we have oppressors that's ruling over us. Back then, the Egyptians and the Assyrians was oppressing us, just like today, the so-called white man and all nations are oppressing us, because in slavery, who came and saved you? What nation of people went to Haiti and said, this is not right, stop doing this? None of them, not one. Not one. Get Psalms 83 real quick. Yes, Tucson never saw, but that was your own people. But that's my point though. You have a big world, right? You heard about World War I, World War II, right? Nations came together to help another nation, right? But we went through some of the biggest atrocities in history.
Right.
The transatlantic slave trade,
Right.
where over 70 million of us was killed. And not one nation came to our defense. To this day, what nation is standing up for the black man?
Bring it out.
Not one. Bro, that's crazy. But everybody will tell you, what happened to you, brother, is wrong. But you know what? You gotta forgive and forget. But when it happens to them, they don't forgive and forget. You understand?
Right.
That's hypocrisy. Right. Read that real quick.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3.
So now, start at verse 1. Now we're going to read in the Bible, why is it that nations didn't come and help you? Because if nations was going to come and help you, that means they would agree together, right? They would agree that not only saying it was wrong, but they would do something about it, right? So if all nations didn't know nothing about it, that means they always in agreement with it. Make sense? Come on.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silent, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make it. Thy enemies.
You listening up? God said thine enemies. Did you know God had enemies? You knew that? Who's God's enemies? Who else? The other nations. I'm gonna make it plain for you. Yes. Did the nations come and save you? No. So that means they're what? God's enemies.
That's
Read.
Right. For thine enemies make a tumult, and the head.
So now he says those nations that hate God, they lifted up their head, meaning they got prideful, because when you hate God, that means you go against his commandments. Like this nation says it's okay for same-sex to marry, right? God didn't say that it was okay. So that shows you they hate God. Right. God said it's not okay for you to kill somebody and rob him and steal. But they did that to your island, showing you that they hate God, right? Come on.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Against who?
Against thy people.
So now it says crafty counsel. These are God's people. You're one of God's people. Crafty counsel meaning they made a plan. to go against God's people. Read.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
So now the idea was, let's separate these people from who they really are. And how did they do that? By putting you in slavery and giving you another name. You understand? And teaching you Christ is white. God loves everybody. Come as you are. You understand? Turn the other cheek. That's how they destroy you, because now they're separating you from what the Bible actually says. You understand? Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
The goal was to get you to forget your name. And have we forgotten our true name? Yes. Because today you thought you was Haitian, right? But now you're learning that you really what? Levi. That's who
right.
you really are. You understand?
Yes.
Read.
For they have consulted together with one.
You gotta read that part slow. I want you to pay attention.
For they have consulted together.
They have what?
Consulted together.
During slavery. This is an example. You got the white man with the Arab.
The tabernacles of Edom.
So now, the tabernacles of Edom. Edom in the Bible is the so-called white man.
Right.
He's against you. Read.
And the Ishmaelite.
The Ishmaelites, which is where the Arabs descend from. He's against you. Read.
And of the Moabites.
The Moabites, that's the so-called Chinese man. He's against you. Read.
And the Hagarites.
Hagarites, those are Africans. He's against you. Read.
Gabel and Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre.
You see how many nations is against you? Because did any one of them actually tell you that you are Levi and the Bible is for you? They never taught you that, did you? Never. But it's in the Bible. We even read to you some curses to explain why it happened. It happened because of sin, right? But they don't even teach you your history. They tell you about Tucson Levasseur here and there, but they don't tell you that you are the people of the Bible and it happened because of slavery. Because they want to keep you on the bottom of society. Because if you're on the bottom, guess where they're at? They're on top. There you go. You got it, bro. You got it.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.